I told you guys we were going to be getting into it, so I hope some of this stuff isn't triggering for some people, but it's good to talk about this stuff. I think it's good to have these types of conversations because it's the real stuff, right? Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. If it's your first time landing on one of my videos, welcome. My name is Stasia and my channel is all about health and weight loss content following a whole food plant-based diet. So I feel like I've been really invested in my own personal health and weight loss journey lately, that it's been making me do kind of like a lot of inner reflection. So I'm coming up with all of these ideas and things that I want to share with you guys that I'm personally experiencing, because every time I think to myself, I can't be the only one that thinks like this. So for those of you new here, just to catch you up to speed, I have lost 65 pounds as well as reversing a horrible illness that kept me sick for about 2 years by following a whole food diet. If you have not seen my video, I recommend giving that a watch just to get to know me a bit better and know my story. I made a video explaining everything, so I can leave that in my description box below if you'd like to check it out. So when I say I understand the ups and downs of weight loss, the struggles, the stress, the frustration, the inner battle that we deal with, I always say that a weight loss journey sometimes for some people is so much more than just the food we put in our mouth. It's emotional eating, stress eating, food addictions. There's tons of other reasons outside of just the food we put in our mouth that causes us to be at an unhealthy weight. It's very easy for someone who's never had to struggle with weight in their life to make it look easy. But when you have been through the struggle, when you're going through the struggle, then you know. It's one of those things, if you know, you know. So with my channel, I've always tried to convey that message loud and clear that this is not a race. This is a journey that we take step by step. You're going to be up, you're going to be down, and there's no shame in it. As long as you keep moving forward, that is the most important part. We have to remember that we're trying to get healthy. We're trying to get to our ideal weight to be healthy. We are not out here trying to compete in a bikini contest. So we have to remember that it's okay that for some people it's going to be faster, and for some people it's going to be a bit slower. And one of the things that we can really become obsessive with during a weight loss journey is watching the scale. Now, I would say that it's pretty split down the middle in terms of people who prefer to weigh themselves, because I feel like some people, they need that because it really helps them to keep on track. Maybe they're more like they have to see the numbers to be able to feel confident in what they're doing and for something to make sense. So maybe that's just the way that they have to go. And then for other people, the scale can actually be quite detrimental. So checking the scale all the time can really have some disadvantages as well. Let me know in the comments which one you are. Do you prefer to keep a consistent eye on your scale? And if so, if you could let us know why in the comments. And if you're someone that the scale, that could just deter you, make you fall off. If you see a number that you don't particularly love, then let me know that in the comments. So I will be definitely checking those out. And remember, other people read the comments as well. So it's actually helpful to all of us. So before I jump into this really thought-provoking video, I just want to mention that for those of you who are looking for some new oil-free, whole food plant-based recipes for your weight loss journey, or just in general, if you're new to following a whole food plant-based diet, or if you're just bored and you're completely lost as far as what to make yourself, then I do have a weight loss recipe ebook that I will have posted in my description box below. And because there's been such an amazing response, and clearly all of you guys love a good sale, I mean, who doesn't? I thought of playing a fun game with you guys that each time I put out a video and each time I make the ebook announcement for new people landing on the video, that I will run a mini promotion, being that the first 10 people to purchase the ebook will get it at a really awesome sale price. I appreciate all of you guys for all the awesome feedback and of course for all of the support. All right, so let's get into this. Okay, so first I just want to point out that there are multiple reasons why the scale could not be reflecting the number that you personally think it should be. Just to name a few, for the women watching this video right now, then you already know when it's that time of the month that scale is definitely going to be up. If you are taking certain medications, it can make the scale go up. If you are experiencing water retention, and that can simply be from just eating too much salty food the day before, that your body's hanging on to extra water, the scale can be up. When our hormones are out of whack and not working properly, that can also reflect on the scale, but it's not actual true weight gain. Constipation or being backed up, however you want to say it, that can make the scale go up. Like literally after you use the washroom, you might be quite surprised to see that the scale automatically goes down. Just being bloated in general after having a heavy meal or maybe something that doesn't particularly agree with you, that scale can be up. Our body composition can change over time with weight loss as well, especially if you're building muscle. And that's why they say it's important to take measurements, because the scale could still actually be saying the same number, but in reality, you are getting smaller. So whether or not the scale is saying what you want it to say or what you think it should be saying at this point, there are a ton of non-scale victories that a lot of people don't talk about or give enough attention to, but we're going to get into that today. Now, some of these NSVs I have personally experienced, and some of them are just other ones that I pulled from other people's experiences, but these are all great things to keep a watchful eye out for. To me personally, they're super exciting. Like, they're more exciting to me than even what the number is on the scale, if I'm being honest. Okay, so the first non-scale victory I want to talk about is when you no longer feel the need to have to wear a cardigan or a jacket or a sweater or anything to cover yourself up or wrap something around your waist. And again, if you know, you know. When you're feeling really uncomfortable in your own body, it's almost like you do your best to try to hide your body. So if you feel your arms are too big or you're feeling that your midsection is too big, naturally you want to cover it up. Not that anybody should ever have to feel they need to cover themselves up. Unfortunately, that is something that a lot of us do when we're feeling insecure about our weight. So when you get to that point that you're feeling more comfortable in your own skin, that you don't need that sweater wrapped around your waist or a jacket to cover yourself up even though it's boiling outside, then that is an awesome non-scale victory. And while we're talking about clothes, I'm just going to continue on with the next one, shopping. I mean, most of us love shopping, but when you're feeling insecure in your own body, it can actually be the least favorite activity for someone to do. So when you're on your weight loss journey and noticed that, going shopping has kind of transitioned into this positive experience and you find yourself having fun because it's easier to find clothes that you like. Unfortunately, bigger clothes are more expensive. I mean, it's understandable, there's more material, but bigger clothes are not always the cutest clothes in the store. Unless you're going to a specialty store designed for plus sizes, then yeah, they really pull off some cute styles. But otherwise, it can be really tricky finding something that you really, really love in just a regular store. So when you've gotten to a point where you're actually enjoying shopping and you're finding these smaller clothes that just really excite you to be able to fit into them, that's a non-scale victory. That's really exciting and something to be proud of. Okay, so another fun but can be slightly annoying NSV would be your rings feeling looser. Now, we all know the opposite feeling, especially if you've had too much salt or feeling a little bit bloated, that those rings can feel super tight. But when you start to feel your rings loosening up, I mean, it might require having to pay to have them resized, but still, that's a really fun way to know that there is some kind of major shift happening in your body. Okay, so another NSV is when everyday tasks start to feel easier for you. So we all know when we're not at our ideal size, that everything can feel that much harder. Even just something as simple as trying to get up out of bed or get up out of a chair that's too low, or your couch after you've been sitting too long. It can feel a little bit difficult to do those things, which might sound like nothing for someone, again, who isn't overweight or, experienced anything like that before. But for those of you who have, then you know what I'm talking about. So when all of a sudden you've noticed that, you're getting up a lot easier, you don't need to hang on to the edge of the couch to pull yourself up or ask your child to give you a hand, when you're able to run around the house kind of with full energy to clean, whereas maybe before just the thought of cleaning your home might have been exhausting just because of the energy it would require. Going up and down stairs in your home might have taken your breath away a few months ago, and now you're doing it with a lot more ease. These are amazing non-scale victories to give importance to give attention to. It is not always about the scale. These things are the true little awards that we get along the way, and I really hope that a lot of you guys are paying attention. Okay, another one, especially for those of us who are following a whole food plant-based diet, you will notice that your skin is clearer. And that goes for not just the face, that goes for all parts of your body. If you've ever experienced, rashes or acne anywhere on the body, you might notice that your skin is getting clearer, you just have a fresher look, and that you might start being mistaken for years younger than what you actually are. Okay, so another NSV is that you might feel the need to wear less makeup or accessorize as much as you might when you're overweight. And that one might sound funny because I know that this might not apply to everybody, especially if you're someone who just never wears makeup, then this one is not for you. But there are some people out there that they feel the need to overcompensate by wearing a lot of makeup or doing something really, kind of out there. It's kind of a way of like overcompensating for the lack of feeling confident in your body. Now, again, this one isn't for everyone, and it's kind of specific for, the people that it applies to. But if you know what I'm talking about, then you know what I'm talking about. When you feel confident in your new body or your changing body, then sometimes you might notice that that's just enough. That you feel more beautiful with just the natural you, as opposed to the one that you have to kind of, do all that you have to do to hide your true self under it. I told you guys we were going to be getting into it, so I hope some of this stuff isn't triggering for some people, but it's good to talk about this stuff, I think. It's good to have these types of conversations because it's the real stuff, right? All right, so let's lighten it up with a fun NSV, which this is like the cream of the crop, is compliments. I mean, who doesn't love a good compliment? When you start getting compliments from people on how amazing you look, or what have you been doing? You look different, or I can't put my finger on it. Whatever it is, or your hair looks nice, or, people just see that you have like a different pep in your step, and they notice and they say something to you. That is an NSV, my friends. That is amazing. And those moments, don't let them roll off your shoulder. Take those moments in. We've worked hard for them, so accept it. Don't brush it off. You proudly keep your head high and you say thank you. And you internalize that and absorb that compliment because it's yours and you deserve it. Okay, so this next NSV is not applicable to me, but I know it's applicable to so many of you out there, and it's a huge one. It is coming off of your medications or reducing your medications. Now, I know this one is super common, especially following a whole foods plant-based diet. I can't think of a better one, to be honest. Even though it's not applicable to me, if I was in that boat, I literally can't think of a better one. Health is king. Before anything, before fitting in any size, looking any particular way, health is everything. Always have that first in your mind. So to be able to come off medication because you've changed your diet, you've worked hard to avoid those food addictions and the processed food and all the, food noise around us that we have 24/7, you did it. You got off the medications because of what you did, because of your commitment. Seriously, if you can't be proud of that, I don't know what you can be proud of. So for those of you who have hit that big one and come off of any type of medication following this way, be sure to leave that in the comments. I would love to hear that. Honestly, I get so genuinely happy when people share their experiences following this lifestyle and all the miraculous things, weight loss, health changes, all of that. All of it. I just get so happy for people to see how they're able to transform their life following this way of eating. Next one, snoring. This might feel like a funny NSV and maybe one that's not talked about a lot, but it's kind of a big one too. So a lot of people experience something called sleep apnea. And a lot of times sleep apnea can be connected to the fact that there's an increased amount of weight in the neck causing you to snore at night because your breathing is being obstructed from this increase of fat. So when you've lost weight, the fat in your neck is going to be reduced and stop you from snoring. So if you've been a chronic snorer or have sleep apnea and have lost weight and no longer snore, that is an amazing NSV, especially for your partner sleeping next to you. Okay, so the last two, I'm just gonna clump them together because I'm sure this video is already entirely too long, but I love talking about this stuff. What can I say? So the last two I'm going to mention is if your digestion has improved and if your blood work has improved. These are huge things. Just like getting off your meds. These are incredible things. A lot of people before jumping into this lifestyle experience extreme constipation or diarrhea, just irregular bowel movements, tons of stuff. And then they get on this lifestyle and realize how bad their digestion was before and how much easier it is now. And when you're eliminating the way that you're supposed to, you're getting healthier. Because when we eliminate, we're getting rid of the toxins. We're getting rid of the bad stuff that's not supposed to be inside of us. So that is amazing. And it's also going to help keep your stomach feel slimmer, just keep everything moving properly within your body. And blood work, the blood work's not going to lie. So if you have had blood work, before and then later somewhere down the road in your weight loss journey and notice that there was a huge difference in your numbers in a positive way, that is an amazing NSV. That tells us that we're doing something right. So keep pushing in that direction. Once we get healthy, once we clean the inside out and start putting all the good stuff in, our body is going to know what to do. That weight is going to come off. Sometimes it just takes longer for some than it does for others. But health and weight loss kind of go hand in hand. They're the perfect marriage. So when you're truly at a state of good, excellent, ideal health, the weight is going to match that. So as I always say, this channel, this lifestyle in general is not just about seeing that scale move. It's not just about getting as skinny as we can get. It's also about leading a very healthful journey that's going to allow us to live a long, happy, healthy life. So I beg you, while we are all anxious and excited to try to get down to our ideal weights, that is not the only focus here. So those things I mentioned are also awesome NSVs. That we don't need the scale, we can't even have the scale tell us those things, but they are equally, if not arguably, even more exciting than what that scale could ever tell us. All right, guys, I'm gonna leave it here because like I said, I'm sure this is way longer than what I intended it to be. But if it's your first time here, and you love following health and weight loss content, following a whole food plant-based diet, you love having, chats like this one today, then be sure to hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you stick around. I also put out a lot of what I eat in a day videos and recipes and all that good stuff following a whole food plant-based diet. And if you do follow me, then thank you as always, as I would not have a channel without you guys. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. We'll see you in the next one.